Is it worth working on playing sixths on guitar, the interval of sixths? Well, if you like this sound, and if you like this sound, and if you like this sound, then yeah, it's probably worth working on playing sixths on guitar. Let's do it in this lesson. We're going to map out the interval of sixths to play them harmonically all over the fretboard through every scale form, crossing strings. This is exactly the fun kind of challenging. I love to do this, extract a sound that I love and get control over it everywhere so I can be fully creative with it. Let's dive in. So we're going to learn all of the scale forms in C, so 5 positions up the neck. This scale form on the screen here is directly from my printable parent scales PDF. You can get that totally for free with the link in the description, or go to soundguitarlessons.com/scales. Very handy. That's why I'm using it for this lesson. It has all the parent scales in all the positions you need, but the C major scales are in this video, so you can just use the video for this. Make sure you know this really well. Just see it as a map on your fretboard, and then we're going to work it out in sixths, okay? So the fingering is the critical thing here. The tabs are great, they can help you, but make sure you look up here at the fingering. That is the puzzle, and I really took the time to decide on the best fingering, and I've had a lot of experience with that. So there are some specific choices. For example, this 3-2 there. So the first beat you have 2-1, then 3-1, then 1-4. Those all seem clear, but then that fourth beat, 3-2, you might think that you would stay here and do 2-1, which you absolutely can, for sure. But your first finger hops there and this, and then you have to hop to the next one. But this is an easy, relaxed kind of just shift. It's not tense at all. And then you are in that position for the next one. So there's a lot of that exact movement throughout the whole, all of the positions. So I wanted to point it out. Okay, so nice and slowly I'll demonstrate here. Going to improvise with these after we go through the forms, and I'm going to demonstrate some of that over a backing track. So know that we're going to come back to this to kind of noodle with it and improvise. And when you improvise, your fingering might not be precisely the same. This is just to get used to going up and down, which is an important first habit. Just to show you here, I have a bar here. Those are for both 1. And the same notes on the other side, I do not bar. So that's an intentional choice because ascending is a little different than descending, just physically. So we're barring on the way up and not on the way down. That is intentional. Next scale form is the G form. Because if you made a chord off of the root on the bottom there, it would be this, which is like a G shape. If you bring it over here, that's where it gets its name. It's kind of part of the caged system. Make sure you see that really well. Then we can move on to the sixths. Here is the demonstration very slowly and carefully. Okay, there is the demonstration there. I do have an ideal bar that I did not do. That's kind of tricky to do. If you can bar ahead of time here, it's a really nice movement to prep for that finger change, and then you don't have to hop the finger. But like I said, hopping finger is okay. It can just be smoother if you work out something different. So I'm giving us the ideal version here. Barring at 5. So we got last 3 beats are 3-2. 3-1 with the bar, and then keep the bar, and 4-1. Pretty nice feeling. Okay, just ideal. You don't have to do that if you want to hop the finger, and you're okay with a little gap there, that's fine. Here's the E form. We want to know this really well. Okay, and then here's the sixths with that. Okay, that's that. We're going to come back to it and improvise a little bit with them. Very important part of mapping things out is to be able to noodle with it, as people say, but just be loose with it and play around. Here's the D form. Okay, here it is in sixths. That's the D form, kind of a trickier one for sixths. Here's the C form, the final one. Final scale form there. If you can't play that high up on your guitar, just do it in any other key. Obviously, you translate the same thing to any position, changing keys, moving the shape to a different place. Okay, here it is. Okay, we have this bar here, same principle as before. Okay, you have a bar. Keep the bar, okay, 1 to 4, 3 to 1, moving on. The bar is not essential, but it's pretty slick feeling if you do that. It feels really ergonomic and nice. So those are all of the scale forms, and you definitely want to be able to go up and down with them and have intentional, proper fingering. It is going to feel nice, and anything you want to play in sixths, like those little examples I gave at the beginning or anything, you're going to just have a much easier time doing it, hearing it, remembering it, all of that stuff, and just having fun with it. So improvising now, you want to improvise independently in each position, any chord progression in the key of C, if you're doing it in C or whatever key you're in. This is just the chord progression I happen to be using, and I have a little backing track to demonstrate. So you want to improvise a little in each position so you feel like that's part of mapping it out. Then you graduate to switching between them, which, believe me, if you know the scale form really well, crossing strings, then switching between them is going to be an easy, natural feeling next step, because they all overlap. So it's not as hard as you think. So crossing strings mapping is much more important, because going along strings is a lot easier. So then you're going to move between them, and then you're going to try to play single notes, anything at all. You're still practicing. It doesn't have to sound like your best. And you're mixing in some sixths, trying to land on a note. Right? Trying to target something like melodically and then play the sixth with it. Just kind of loosely working on that. Let's just do a little bit of playing with it, just so you hear some of that. And then your homework is, of course, to find a backing track and do all of this yourself. So remember, when you're improvising, your fingerings are going to change a little bit, but it's also going to remind you when you're improvising how much more you need to practice just the basic up and down scales. And you want to go back and forth between some improvising and loosely playing around with it, and then strictly going back and saying, oh yeah, really getting that scale version just up and down is going to help very much. So you want to do some back and forth on that and enjoy the process, of course, as you go. Everything you need to work on this is in this video, and you can easily find any C major backing track somewhere else. But if you want the backing track that I'm using, and if you want the PDF of all of this stuff, all the fingerings, notation, tab, the scale diagrams, everything you saw here, but as a PDF, you can get that by joining my premium subscriber membership, where you'll get downloads to my weekly lessons, past lessons, future lessons, anything that is helpful for you to learn along with my lessons each week on YouTube. I post a video every Tuesday. You can join my membership by going to soundguitarlessons.com/join or using the link in the top of the description. And if you just want to get the free PDF printable parent scales pack, that's totally fine too. That link is down there in the description, and you can use that to work on sixths or anything else with all of the important scales to learn on the guitar. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you benefited from it, and I hope that you master your sixths all over the guitar because it's so fun and such a tasty sound. Hope to see you in another lesson soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy practicing.